Hey guys, I meant to add this to my previous video, and I just forgot. So much crap this morning. January 18, 2025. Important. The U.S. CDC has announced that going forward, suspected SARS-CoV-2 wastewater levels will be normalized to an endemic baseline 0. On this baseline will be levels in the previous year. It is difficult to fathom just how cynical this is. Now, what that means is, as it gets worse, if it gets worse, we won't know. What this is this is disaster capitalism. This is them normalizing the fact that COVID is still around. I talked about it, and I guess I'm going to talk about it again. What Trump is doing, he's instructed federal health agencies to pause all external communications, such as health advisories, weekly scientific reports, updates to websites, and social media posts, according to nearly a dozen current and former officials and other matters familiar with the matter. Instructions were delivered Tuesday to staff at agencies including the DHS, Health and Human Services, FDA, Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, and National Institute of Health. One day after the administration took office, they're charged with making decisions that touch the lives of every American on the source of crucial information. It's just wild, because I remember as a kid being told, like, we don't have men marching in the street with masks on, and we don't have people going through the mail, and it's like, yeah, we're getting there. You know, the idea of us being free and all that, yeah, we're getting there. They have different things they let out: mortality weekly report, advisors sent to clinicians on CDC Health Alert Network about public health incidents, data updates to the CDC website, public health data released from the National Center of Health Services statistics, which tracks myriad health trends, including drug overdose deaths. Oh, remember we were talking about how the American life expectancy is getting lower and lower? This is Trump's way of solving it. You don't help people. You secure the data to where nobody can know. Nobody knows anything. Doctors don't know. I don't know. This is how Republicans solve problems. You don't solve the problem. You hide the problem, so nobody knows. We knew it. This is all about homophobia and racism. We knew it. This is going to be about revenge, and a clawback, and just a denial of basic reality. It was not clear from the guidance around the new administration whether the directive will affect more urgent communications, such as foodborne disease outbreaks, drug approvals, and new bird flu cases. This is a fact. Stephanie Spear, HHS Deputy Chief of Staff, instructed agency staff Tuesday morning to pause external communications. Longtime ally of Robert Kennedy. She did not respond to a release. Several health officials are wary of any messaging halt after the first Trump administration pushed to tightly control the agency's communications during the coronavirus response 2020. Now think about that. Why would you, during a worldwide pandemic, try to secure information? Wouldn't you want the public to know? Because that's what Republicans do. Gaslight, obstruct, project. Their job is there's no problem, there's no fire, and the house is burning down behind them. That's their job. They don't, and I think this kind of sets a tone as we walk down this path of disaster capitalism, that we're not even going to talk about the disasters anymore. As we have more of them, we're not going to talk about it no more. We're going to just silence everybody, silence the doctors and everything, which is going to make it harder for doctors and people to make the right decisions. If you get diseases in this country, in the past, people just knew because doctors get these alerts. People get these alerts so they would know. People won't have those alerts. They won't know. There's a guy on here that they talk about, Osterholm, Dr. Osterholm. I follow him somewhat. And they were talking about how he'll still be able to get information. He's been getting information as the pandemic has worn down. I want to be clear about something, because I know that liberals, leftists have good intentions. There's a difference between a company choosing to not report stuff and a company making a rule that they say do not release to the public. What they're talking about is that some of the federal agencies don't release records every day or every week. They release it maybe once a month, maybe a couple times a month. That's different Because that's them doing it to save money. It's like me turning my lights off in my house. That's me saving money. That's not me doing it like there's somebody outside hunting for me or something. I'm doing it to save money. Or if I like don't idle my truck, or that's saving money. It's not a policy. What this means, this is an acknowledgement and a commitment to withholding basic facts and information from the American people. That's what this is. Others suggested a move is aimed at helping the newly installed Trump administration understand the vast flow of information coming out of the health agencies. The pause, according to one, seemed more about letting them catch their breath, know what's going on with cardiac communication. If it lasts more than a week or two, it could be concerning. Note under the Biden administration, White House HHS officials extensively reviewed material related to the coronavirus before it was released. Other officials said that the Trump administration may need time to set up systems and request for a pause. More reflection of a poorly executed transition process. Quote, we have tried to assume good intentions here, and it is just disorganized, end quote, says one federal health official. At the beginning of Trump's first term, administration officials also asked employees at multiple agencies to cease communication with the public. The limits being focused on agencies overseeing environmental and scientific policies, such as the EPA, Agriculture, and Interior Departments. Right, because that's how you deal with climate change, is stop talking about it, stop studying it, and stop releasing information to the public. We're not going to deny it. We're not going to argue. We're going to just find ways to hide facts. Imagine if judges were like, people went to court and it was like the police accused you of a crime, and I'm like, well, I have evidence that I was at a movie theater at the time of the crime, and they're like, you can't bring the ticket of the movie theater into court. That's what Trump's doing. You're not trying to convict me fairly because you may have the wrong guy. You're trying to just end it and shut everybody up and end the conversation. This is the danger of Trump. That's what we've been talking about. This isn't about normal Republican politics. It's about cruelty.